If you've tried to change how you eat before, but you've struggled, you'll know that behaviour change isn't easy, but it is possible. The first thing is to be specific. Most of how you eat won't need changing if you can be particular about ways in which you overeat. The next thing is to be clear about what sorts of obstacles you might encounter as you start to try to make changes. In this video, we're going to look at what those obstacles might be and start to think about how to overcome them. So in this video, first of all, I'm going to be introducing you to the Behaviour Change Wheel, which is a tool developed by behavioural scientists to help us. Second, I'll be looking at the 3 key things identified that are in the Behaviour Change Wheel to do with obstacles to success. And third, I'll help you to ask yourself particular questions to identify any obstacles you might encounter when you start to make changes on the eating habit that you've chosen to start with. The scientists who developed this emphasize how important it is to tackle just 1 or 2 eating habit changes at a time so that you're not overloading yourself. You'll see more about this in my other video on identifying particular habits and using my unhelpful eating habits checklist to help you. The Behaviour Change Wheel is an evidence-based approach to health behaviour change. The scientists who developed it emphasised the importance of focusing just on 1 or 2 habit changes at a time so you don't overwhelm yourself and make excessive demands on your focus and your attention and your energy. So if we look at the Behaviour Change Wheel, you can see the central green circle here is the one we're interested in. The outer circles aren't relevant for our purposes. So within that central green circle, there are 3 segments. As you look, you can see capability. That refers to the knowledge that you need to make changes, and also the skills that you might need to implement those changes. The second segment is about opportunity, and that refers both to the opportunity in terms of resources, the time that you might need and any equipment you might need, but also the social opportunity, which refers to the fact that you need the people around you to be on board with you when you make changes if they're going to stand in the way in any way. Social opportunity also refers to social norms. So if you're trying to reduce the amount that you eat when you're eating out, for example, are you going to be able to ask for a takeaway box in a restaurant to put part of the meal in and take it with you rather than finish what's on your plate? That would be an example of something that might feel a bit uncomfortable socially, but you could actually make it into something doable. The third thing is about motivation, and with motivation we're talking about having clear intentions and aims and being able to prioritise those over immediate desires and wants for gratification and pleasure. Let's take an example of you want to cut down on the number of takeaways you're having and cook more meals from scratch at home. If you want to start cooking healthier meals, but the people you eat with want things to stay as they are, you might have the capability, you might know how to cook, you might have the motivation to do it, but the social opportunity might be tricky. Using this framework can help to home in on the fact that it might be that you need to have a discussion or an agreement with your family that you're going to be cooking slightly differently so that you've got healthier options available. If, on the other hand, your intention to cook healthily everybody is on board with, but you don't have the skills and the knowledge to prepare the meals, then it may be that looking online for some video courses to do with cooking and preparing particular recipes might be what you need. Some examples of behaviour change, like, for instance, dealing with cravings for chocolate or dealing with emotional eating, are much more psychological in nature. You can still take this approach, but the type of knowledge and skills you might need might be much more to do with understand cravings and having techniques to overcome them, or understanding emotional eating and likewise having techniques that will help you to reduce emotional eating. These are the sorts of things you'll find in my other videos. So if you have the knowledge and the skills and the opportunity and the motivation to make the change you want, great, you can go ahead. But if you think you're going to be encountering obstacles, here are the sorts of questions that you can ask yourself. First, is there some new knowledge about psychology or nutrition that you need? And if so, where might you be able to find that? The second is, are there any particular skills you need to learn? The third is, have you got the resources to make this change right now, both in terms of time and in terms of equipment and tools that you might need? If you're not sure about that, if you think you might not have, then it might be helpful to adjust down the size of the step that you're trying to take. And finally, are you really clear about what your new eating habit is going to look like? So have you actually got that clear so that you can keep on track with your motivation about where you're heading for? When you tackle one eating habit change at a time like this, and you address the obstacles as you go, the changes that you make are going to stick. And that means that any weight you lose is going to stay off. For more information about how you can use my professional help to make changes you want to make, check the links in the description. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video with anybody you think might benefit. In the next video, we're going to look at eating in tune with your body and being able to listen to your gut. And I'll be introducing you to my unique tool, the appetite pendulum, to help you with that.